Morning, good morning. You can turn the music up a little bit more, Jay. We're thankful this morning. We're thankful for everything as is. Because guess what? There's only one presence, one power, and one activity. And that's all that's going on. And if you want that to go on for you, then you might want to speak that out of your mouth. There's only one presence, one power, and one activity. And it's active in my life right now. One presence of absolute good. One activity of absolute good. And it's active everywhere. Isn't that wonderful? No matter where you go, we can't get on the outside of our big old God, the presence of God. Wherever I go today, God's waiting on me. And wherever I go, I'm a representative of God. Oh, yeah, we've learned that we have been pressed out of the body of God. And all the same qualities that God has, we have also. Have you accepted it? This is a part of your preparation for this brand new dispensation. And in this brand new dispensation, it's about what you know. We're going beyond belief in this new dispensation. We are going into a knowingness. Be still and know that I'm God. I'm the divine frequency that is everywhere present. I'm the divine frequency that knitted you in your mother's womb. And when I did that, I put everything on the inside of all my children, all the powers that they would need for this dispensation. And we're giving thanks right now. Those gifts are coming online. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done for all of us. Thank you for how you've been with us throughout 2024. And thank you, God, that you are moving across the line on December 31st, 2024, as we move into 2025, knowing that everything is divine in 25. Amen. Ashe. Oh, good morning. Good morning, family. Good morning, praying Alicia. Good morning. Today we're going to be grounding. We're here for a purpose, as always. We're going to be grounding. I tell you, I had an experience. I heard a talk that Billy Carson's wife was doing, and in that conversation, she was saying that she was utilizing a grounding sheet and how it really calmed her nervous system down. So I bought one. So I sent it to New Jersey, and as I was with mom for 30 days, I slept on that grounding sheet. And I'm going to tell you, it made such a difference. Dr. Ober is the person who discovered or invented these grounding sheets, and there's other companies that do it. However, he did it because of a situation in his life as he just amassed so much wealth and didn't pay attention to his body, didn't pay attention to the valuables like family, and he gave everything away. And he used to work outside in some type of cable job, but that's when he realized that Mother Earth is our healer. And we have heard many stories of how people have been sick, buried themselves in the earth, or slept outside on Mother Earth, and all the adjustments take place in the body. So this came to him, and he made these grounding sheets. And I'm saying that, I'm not telling you to buy a grounding sheet. I'm just saying that it coincides with how important it is for us to ground now. We are already worldwide in such chaotic energy. And even those of us who have chosen not to look at the news, not to engage in it, we're still affected by it because we're still here. And I have our special guest. All the TLC folks just about all know Dr. Ondria. I'm going to bring her on in a few minutes. But I brought her on. I asked her to come because we need the information, family. We need the information so that we can spiritually ground ourselves, not just in spirit, but spirit, soul, and body. Spirit, soul, and body. For forever, I've been talking about this period, and now we're here. In July, I did the whole month on spiritual understanding so that we could understand what we are, not who, because the who changes, but what we are, and be able to stand on that as the storms come. We will be like that tree that is planted by the still waters, and we shall not be moved. Those of us who are preparing, we are preparing and we are securing our house. We're securing our house by securing our mind. We're securing our house by the renewal of our mind. We're securing our house by remembering what we are. We're securing our house by understanding that God is our unlimited source and will always source. We're not looking out to this world for anything. Uh-uh. As Dr. Spencer said, and we both said, this world has nothing to offer us. We are turning within where the real power lies, the kingdom of heaven, the unified field that is not only on the inside of us, but also on the outside of us. We're turning within, we're catching the visions that Most High God is flooding into our consciousness. We're being directed, we're using our intuition so that we can be guided. We will be guided so unmistakably right that we can't help but see our way. And we're going to do that affirmation right now. Everybody take a deep breath and exhale slowly. I am divinely guided. I am divinely guided. I am divinely guided. I am divinely guided. So unmistakably right, I cannot help but see my way. I am divinely guided. So unmistakably right, I can't help but see my way. The knower within me knows. I tap into the knower each and every day and I listen. And then I follow. I follow the chorus. I follow the instructions. I obediently follow the instructions of spirit. Why? Spirit knows and spirit shows. Our God is omniscient. God already knows about every day that we're going to be here on this planet. And that great spirit has gone before us to make easy and successful our way. Let's stay tapped in. This is why we're here. We're here to spiritually ground in this morning. We're grounding down. We're grounding in spirit this morning. That one presence, that one power, the only power, the only power. We don't believe in two powers here at Transforming Love Community because we know better. And we're giving thanks for this right now moment. In this right now moment, we are one with the one. In this right now moment, realize you're one with all of the wealth that there is. Why am I saying that? Because God is divine substance out of which everything has been made. God is divine substance out of which everything has been made. And God has given us the ability to think thoughts and shape that substance like a cookie cutter. And as we tap within, we never go without. And as we tap within, we allow Most High God to put it all together and bring it to us in peace. Take a deep breath. I align and I allow. I align and I allow. Take a deep breath. No matter what's going on in your world today, God is the answer. Because we understand there's only one problem and only one solution. And the one problem is a belief that you're separated from God. And so what's the one solution? To know that you are one with God. And this is what we're doing right now. We're doing at one minute exercises to remember each and every day, I'm one with the one. I live, move, and have my being in the one, in God. Therefore, I don't have to worry about my future, and I don't have to think about my past. I have placed my future in the hands of God. Let's affirm it together. I have placed my future in the hands of God. Take a deep breath. I have placed my future in the hands of God. And that's why I'm free today. That's why you're free today. That's why we're free today. All right. I feel so much better. We're going to run through a few announcements, and I'm going to bring on Dr. Ondria so that we can ground even more and get an understanding of this mind-body connection. Well, tomorrow is Monday, so every Monday we soak with Reverend Danny Stillwell, and all of these announcements are on our website. So if you don't get it in this flash that we're doing it in, go to the website, www.transforminglovecommunity.com. Okay, and next Sunday, we got the doctor in the house. Christ beyond Christianity. I am so glad because Christians don't own the Christ. So I can't wait to hear Dr. Spencer's message next week. Be here or be square. And then Burning Bowl Sunday. Look at here, look at here, look at here. Burning Bowl Sunday. Everybody's going to be in the house. Every year, this is our tradition every year before we cross over. We decide what we don't want to take into the new year, and we write it down and we burn it. This is what we'll be doing on December 29th, and we want you to be there. Bring your pen and paper because we will be doing this as an experiential service. You'll be writing it down right where you are. Burning bowl. You don't want to take things into the new year that are going to slow you down. We don't want to take any toxic people or situations. And we know that when we give it to Most High God, God knows how to orchestrate every avenue, every path, and every plan. All right. And then the first 12 days, yay, we set the tone for the year. Each day of the first 12 days, each day represents a month. and a spiritual power. And this is how we're able to download this information into our system, into our core, into our soul. And so once we do those first 12 days, we're set. That doesn't mean we don't meditate and pray every day. But what a beautiful thing is that we have covered our whole year in 12 days. Again, the phone number for this conference you can get on our website, transforminglovecommunity.com. Thank you. And I'm going over to Godland. This is a fundraiser for Godland, y'all. I just want to be a blessing. Again, my friend, Dr. Ron Coleman, has made his transition, and Godland is in transition. So on January the 4th, please join me if you are in this area, the Detroit area. We will be there at Godland. I will be speaking on quantum leaping into abundance. I have been studying quantum leaping and it fascinates me. And guess what? We're doing it anyway. We haven't been calling it that. But come on out Saturday, January 4th, 2025, Godland Unity, and let's leap together. We're leaping into abundance. Hey. All right. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for Dr. Ondria? Come on, bring her on, Jay. Trinity, divine healing. Dr. Ondria. She's our very own. She's our very own. But I'll share a little bit of her with y'all.
Thank you,
We have,
Rev.
oh, you're welcome, baby. We have had some of the deepest conversations regarding spirituality, regarding health, relationships, abundance, and everything. And as I was thinking about us going into this new dispensation, and I've been talking a whole lot about the spiritual part and the soul part, I said, I need to bring her on so that she can talk about the body part. So I'm turning it over to you to talk about foods. I'm going to turn it over to you to do whatever you want to do. Go ahead.
Thank you, Rev, so much. So, first of all, I have to say I am grateful to the Divine Most High Creator of all things, the all in all, that has us in this right now moment. I'm very, very grateful for that. Very grateful for Rev for asking me to be here. Honored and humbled always. Rev is my spiritual mother, and love her to life. I ain't trading you for nothing or nobody. Okay, let's let that
Yay.
be known. Um, and to my TLC family, thank you all for having me. Thank you all for being here with me. You all have helped me spiritually ground and grow up. So I'm grateful to all of you as well. So thank you. J Love doing her thing in the background. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you, J Love. Thank you for everything as well. So we'll get started. I wanted to start this talk from a perspective of the practical side of things, right? Because we often talk about how it is important for us to be in spirit in all aspects of our lives and in all times. Yet we also know the practicality of life can affect how we express that spirit within. So the first thing is grounding is a practice of getting back to your spiritual center, right? So, like
Praise God.
Rev has been talking about, and how Rev has been teaching us that the one problem is when we feel separated, when we feel we are disconnected from the spirit within. So, what grounding does, grounding reminds us that spirit is present within, grounding reconnects us to the spirit within. And grounding allows us to express the spirit within. That's the reason why grounding is so very important. And it is important to be mindful of those things you put in your body so that you can continue to connect, so that you can continue to draw on spirit, so that you can always know that spirit is present. So, what you put in your body is very important so that you can keep that relationship going in the face of challenges, adversity, trials, and tribulations, right? So,
Yes.
we want to start with foods that come from Mother Earth. You know, it was so beautiful how you
Ground.
mentioned the grounding sheet. right? The
Yeah.
grounding sheet helps you connect to Mother Earth when your central nervous system feels out of whack or in out of alignment, right? So foods are an aid in that regard as well. So if you eat the foods that come from Mother Earth, that is also a way of helping you stay spiritually grounded too, because the foods that come from the earth contain the earth's energy that go inside of you, which energizes your physical cells, your atoms, your molecules, your DNA. Those foods energize you just as the earth does too. So it's important to eat fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, and seeds from the earth. Now, how do we do that in a society, in a world where our agriculture is very adulterated with chemicals and our processed foods are over processed? And how do we do that in this world with when we're inundated with foods that so often don't come from Mother Earth? My first suggestion to everybody is go to your local farmers market. Very early on in my education as a naturopath, we learned that it is really, really important to eat under your own fig tree. What does that mean? You eat the foods of the region where you live. So for those of us that live in southeastern Michigan, Detroit specifically, the one place to get herb foods and herbs that come from the earth is Eastern Market. Eastern Market is my happy place. I love Eastern Market. It's a farmer's market. And all of the food that you get from Eastern Market are grown by the hands of farmers. And they pull those foods out the ground, they clean them up, they put them in a nice, pretty bucket for you to come by and buy them. And those are the foods that are so much better for you than the foods that we get at our local grocery stores, because those foods come right out the ground to your table. There is no shipping them from Ohio. There is no flying them in from Costa Rica. They come out of the ground in Michigan right to your table. And those are the foods that contain the most energy from the earth than those that you get from the grocery store. Now, there are farmers markets everywhere nowadays. There are farmers markets in the suburbs as well as in the inner city of Detroit.
Yeah,
The
talk about that. The People's Co-op. I gotta
Oh
give them a shout
yeah. Oh
on
yeah.
Woodward because yeah, my brother Malik.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, he's doing it
Brother
for
Malik
us.
Makini, brother
That's
Malik
right.
Makini is doing his
Yep.
thing. It took
Yes,
him
he.
decades to get that food co-op because he of
That's
course
right.
had to go through the politicking of all of that. However, he persevered and it happened.
Yep.
So the Detroit Food Co-op, those foods at the Detroit Food Co-op come from D-Town Farms. D-Town Farms
Yes.
is right in the city, in the heart of the city of Detroit, off of Plymouth and
Yes.
Outer Drive.
Yes.
So all of your greens, your peppers, your even your squash, all of those foods come direct from D-Town Farms at
Yes.
Detroit's co-op, Detroit Food Co-op, downtown off
Mhm.
of Woodward.
Right.
So you've got the Detroit Food Co-op downtown off Woodward. Thank you, Rare, for reminding me because I'm a member. I'm a member. I pay my dues every month, $20. So yes, yes. Detroit Food Co-op off of Woodward. Their food is grown by black farmers too. So it's important to
Yes.
support our black farmers. Very, very important. There are black farmers at Eastern Market. So you've got Eastern Market, you've got Detroit Food Co-op. There are farmers markets in Royal Oak and Garden City and Southfield. So there's really no excuse not to go to the farmers market. Farmers markets are open 24/7, 365. To my knowledge, they don't close. They're open on the weekends. So you can shop conveniently when you don't have to work, if you don't work on the weekends. Or even if you do, you know, most markets are open until 4. So basically, what I'm saying is that there's no excuse for us not to eat the foods that come from Mother Earth that help us ground spiritually. Because
Right.
when our physical body is grounded in spirit, then our spirit can express itself and it can flourish through us. And people can look at us and be like, oh my gosh, look at you. You are glowing. What's going on with you? Like you see spirit. That's what you see. That's what you see right here.
Yeah, because we are we are electromagnetic beings. I don't know if people realize that because I didn't. The sun and the earth working together, and you're the one who really uh got it into my soul that I needed to eat more from the earth because you said that's what you are. And it's true. We are earth.
We are very much so. And I'm so glad you mentioned electromagnetic energy because the body is an electromagnetic conductor. So what does that mean? That means that I don't know if everyone is familiar with the electromagnetic energy of the earth. So the very same electromagnetic energy that is in the earth is in each and every cell, molecule, atom in the human body. And our bodies have so much electromagnetic energy that we can actually energize devices, right?
Yes.
We actually conduct wattage. That is so the information that we saw in the Matrix where Neo and Lawrence Fishburne's character where they were talking and Lawrence
Morpheus.
Fishburne,
Morpheus.
thank you, Morpheus. He held up the
Hmm.
battery. We are literally that battery. We can, so you walking across a carpet, right? And you touch either a doorknob or you touch your keys and you feel that spark. That's you.
Yep.
That's you drawing in the energy from the earth, comes through the body, and it comes out your fingers. That
Yes.
electromagnetic energy gets fueled by the electromagnetic energy in the foods that you eat that come from Mother Earth, which is the reason why it's so important to eat the foods that Mother Earth gives us. Because that same electromagnetic energy that comes from her goes in those foods. And when you eat those foods, it goes back into you. So it's this
Yes.
beautiful current that goes through, right? The current that is circular in nature, and there's a reason why it's circular. That's a whole nother conversation why it's circular. But the energy is it's a cycle and it is a circle and it looks like a sphere. So there's energy coming up one side, energy going down the other side, and then there's the straight line in the middle, right? That straight line in the middle, right, relates to our in when we talk about the physical body, it relates to our chakras because we have
Yes.
seven major energy centers. Now we've got
Yes.
over 200 energy centers in the body, but there are seven major ones. So when you've got energy coming in, right, and then you got energy going out, it's all flowing through the seven energy centers, the seven major energy centers in the body, which are the seven chakras, right? And so
Yeah.
you can imagine the energy coming through, energy going back up, energy coming through, energy coming back up, right? So why is grounding important to that process? Well, should the chakras not spin as fast, or if you feel any aches and pains, or if your body does not feel like it is operating at its optimum, it's very, very likely your energy centers are off.
Yes.
Grounding helps to get that energy back in alignment. That's what grounding does. So
Yes.
when you like Rev talked about so beautifully earlier, which I was like, yes, I'm so glad she mentioned that. When your body is out of ease, dis-ease, right? And you can give the body whatever name you want to give it, right? 7 letter, 3 letter, it doesn't matter. When your body is out of ease or dis-ease, take your shoes off, take your socks off, go outside. Now, I know it's wintertime and I know it's cold. I get that. But if you walk around barefoot in your house, right? You're
On natural surfaces.
on
On
natural,
natural surfaces.
exactly, on natural
Uh-huh.
surfaces, you are grounding to the earth.
Yes.
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 So you take your socks off, put your feet downstairs on the basement, right? Because that cement, right? Cinder block cement, that's connecting right down to the ground that the cement was built on, which is the foundation of your house. Put your feet
Yes.
down there. Your
Yeah.
feet hurt, your hips hurt, your back hurt, you got a headache. Take your socks off, take your shoes off, go in the basement, put your toes on that ground, right? Do some deep breathing as we did when we were coming into the service today. Feet on the
Yes.
feet, you put your feet flat on the floor, sit in a chair, sit cross legged on the floor if you can, and just breathe. Just breathe. And if you do that just for 5 minutes, right? If you got 5 minutes in your day, I know that we have a lot of people who are, they're so busy. A lot of us are so busy with just being busy that we don't realize that we can make time. We can make time, right? You can make 5 minutes out of your busy day to ground yourself. when you're in a situation that's challenging, when you're facing those trials and tribulations that come upon you that seem like out of nowhere, take your socks off, take your shoes off, put your toes in that cement, or when it's nice outside and the sun is shining, take your toes and put them in that grass and do that deep breathing. You'll find the wisdom that you need to get through whatever it is that's challenging you in that moment. I promise you, it works like clockwork. It works like magic, really.
It
But you got to
does.
take the time. You got to take that
And,
time.
and and it makes sense to me, Dr. Andrea, because of what you just said, that we are electromagnetic, and the sun kisses, that's how I look at it. The sun kisses the vegetables. I mean, that's not happening in no manufacturing company and frozen and then frozen.
Right.
And then we take it in, so I think that I've been understanding that even trying to hear God, if we're not eating properly or living in a way, we're not even able to connect.
I
And the
totally agree.
blocks, the
So
blocks.
I would love to share a personal experience. So, and this is recently. So, yesterday, I'm sitting and I'm watching television and I felt chest pains and I felt a sharp pain, right, going through my right arm. Now, normally, the Western world says those are signs of having a heart attack. So, I'm asking my body, I'm like, okay, body, what's going on? So, I'm talking specifically to my heart. Okay, heart, what's going on? And I didn't get anything at first. So, I just kept going about my day. Then the pain came back, chest pain, pain through my right arm. I'm like, okay, now what's happening, heart? Come on, speak to me, because I don't have a history of heart conditions within me. I do have a history in my family, but not with me. So I'm like, okay. Last time I went to the doctor, the heart was tip top, circulation tip top. So tell me what's going on. So the heart said, you drink too much mushroom coffee. There's too much caffeine in it. I can't take it. I'm gonna need you to stop.
Wow.
I'm gonna need you to stop. I'm like, okay. So once I had that conversation and I had that affirmation, I drank some water. All I did was drink water for the rest of my day. I drank water. The pain in my chest went away. Pain from the right side went away. And I have not had any mushroom coffee today because I was drinking mushroom coffee every day. So I haven't had any today. I'm not feeling any withdrawals or anything, but I'm not having those pains either. Now, I'm not saying, please do not take this as a replacement for your doctor. That is not what I'm saying at all. I am not saying do not go to the doctor. I am not saying just listen to your body. What I am saying is that when you take the time to ground and when you take the time to connect to your spirit, you can sit with your body, you and your body, and you can have a conversation with your
Absolutely.
body so that
Absolutely.
your body can tell you what's going on. And
That's
then you
right.
take that information to your medical professional and say, hey, this is really what's going on with me. So let me work with you so I can get back in alignment. I hope that makes sense to everybody because I don't want anybody going off of here talking about Dr. Andrea said I ain't got to go to the doctor. All I got to do is listen to my look. Let's have some balance, right? It's
And some
important.
wisdom, and
And
some
some,
wisdom,
yes,
because who knows who made the body? Who created this body? It
right,
was not the doctors.
right,
And they are practicing medicine.
yes,
And because of my healing experience, I could put an S on it. Um, I know doctors have what they have. But I go both ways. I go the natural pathway. That's why I deal with you. And then I can go the allopathic way to get whatever test. However, because of what I know for sure is that the spirit made the soul, and the soul made the body. And so whenever there's something going on in our bodies, it's a soul issue.
yes.
It's not a medical issue. It's a soul issue.
which is why grounding is so important, because grounding is one of those practices that keeps you in alignment with your soul. It literally does. When
Yes.
you ground on a regular basis every day, when you ground, it keeps the conversation and the relationship going with your soul. So think of
Yes.
grounding as a necessary part of the relationship that you have with your soul. So, when we think about relationships, we don't often think about our relationship with our soul as being the same as our relationship with people outside of us. And it is.
Yes.
You have to feed your soul to maintain that relationship, just like you have to feed your child parent relationship or your romantic relationship or even your friendship. You've got to feed it. So, how do you feed your soul? You sit with it. You sit with it, you get it foods that come from the earth, you meditate with it, you talk to it, right? So when you have that conversation with your body, just like Doc said, you have that conversation with your body, and your body says, you know what, you've been drinking too much caffeine. I'm gonna need you to chill on that. Okay, I'm gonna chill on the caffeine. And then when it's time to go to the doctor to have that physical, which is time for me to go to the doctor to have it, I'm gonna go to the doctor and I'm gonna have my physical. So I'm not
Right.
going to not use the divine wisdom, right?
Right.
I'm going to integrate it all for the
Yes.
beautification and the health and prosperity of my mind, my soul, and my body. Because all of
Yes.
it is important.
All of it's
All of it
important.
is important. Now, if you are with an allopath that doesn't listen to you, that's time to be like, you know what? I think I need another doctor.
Yes.
Right? Because
That's
if
right.
your soul is telling you the reason why your back hurt is because maybe in 2019 you pulled a muscle and it never healed properly, and the doctor is saying, no, that ain't it, but you still got
Yeah.
that pain, then maybe you need to go to another doctor.
Hmm.
It's important that your doctor listens to you, but that's a whole nother conversation. So I'm
And
basically
wait a
saying,
minute, and ask the spirit to send that person.
yes,
It's all the
it's
base of this
all,
whole thing is
yes,
spirit.
yes, because you have to ask spirit first. That's the
Yes.
purpose of grounding. The purpose
Yes.
of grounding is connecting to spirit, so spirit can tell you how to move in this physical plane.
Yes.
So if you
And
don't ground,
my God, how important is that now? This is why we're talking. That's really important in this brand new dispensation, Dr. Andrea.
yeah,
We're in a we ain't never been here. We have for 2,000 years in that Piscean age. Now we're in the Aquarian age. That's why it's technology. It's light. And not and the sign even for the Aquarius. Some people think that's water, but it's electricity
yes,
in the air.
yes,
And that's why so much is coming online. I got a vitamin drip while I was home in New Jersey, and the sister that did it told me, she says, I just came from a conference and soon I'm going to be able to do stem cell injections. She says, and
wow,
the doctor that I'm working with, he is working on eye drops with stem cells that will eradicate macular degeneration. You see, Spirit has been showing me this for so long. I knew that these things were going to come, but here we are. And it's coming fast. That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
That's another reason why we need to be grounded
yeah,
because this
very much
energy is
so.
moving fast.
Very much so. Very much so. So when you feel fatigued because everything is moving fast, you ground. So when I come home from work, I'm often tired. When I go and put my feet in that natural surface, or when I go outside and I pray and meditate, when I'm done, I'm energized. So a lot of times you can even defeat the fatigue that you feel by grounding. That's how
Yes.
important grounding is.
Yes.
So what we're saying is, just to recap, it's important to do grounding practices to feed your soul. It's important to eat foods that come from the earth to feed your soul. It is important to recognize the electromagnetic forces within your body that also connect with the earth, that also connect back to God, so that all of that energy can flow through you as an expression of God, and you
Yes.
use that wisdom to go through this physical plane of existence.
Yes.
So hopefully that makes sense to everybody, because that's
Yes.
basically what we're talking about. And that's the
Yes.
reason why grounding is so important. Now, when Doc talks about stem cells and the importance of stem cells, a lot of people may not know what stem cells are. Stem cells are those cells that naturally regenerate in the body, and it doesn't matter the body system, it doesn't matter the body organ. Every organ, every body system has stem cells. When those stem cells are activated, they actually kill off the dead cells, regenerate new cells, so that whatever is literally in dis-ease, it comes back into alignment, because the stem cells take away what's old and rebirth what's new within the body, because the body is self-regulating and self-healing. Stem cells are one of the biggest reasons why. That's why stem cells have been such the buzzword, or such the huge development in the medical science field today, because of the miraculous things that our stem cells do. Now, stem cells isn't something that just comes out of the body and then goes back in. You actually activate your stem cells every time you do a spiritual practice or you eat foods that come from the earth. You actually activate those stem cells when you do practices that align with spirit, right? When you do
Yes.
practices such as praying and meditating, when you do practices such as we said, sit in the grass and sit by the trees, and you put your hands in the dirt. When you connect with that electromagnetic energy that comes from Mother Earth, you can actually activate your stem cells. And it doesn't matter, again, the body system or the body organ. The body itself has stem cells everywhere. You get stem cells in your brain, in your eyes, in your heart, in your skin. That's the reason why the body is regenerative, because of stem cells. And stem cells have been extracted from the body, and they've studied them, and stem cells can rejuvenate outside the body. Isn't that
Yeah.
miraculous, right?
Yes.
Which is why they've been using stem cell research to actually regrow limbs outside of the
Yes.
body, right?
Yes.
That's the reason stem cells inside of the body are so powerful. Imagine you got God energy with a stem cell. Come on now. You hear what I'm saying? You got God
Yes.
energy with a stem cell. You can cure anything within the body, but you got to activate it. And how do you activate it? A grounding practice is a very good way of activating it. Praying and meditating is a great way of activating it. Sitting in nature, being in the sun, hugging trees, talking to plants. These things that spiritually connect you is an awesome way to activate those stem cells from a spiritual perspective, so that the body can rejuvenate itself from a physical perspective.
Whew.
So it's really, really important that you understand how all of this really it comes full circle. When you feel out of alignment, when you feel disconnected, you got to ground. When your body feels in dis-ease, you got to ground. And you can't ground with a, double whopper with cheese. That just don't work like that. That's not how that happens, right? That Pepsi or that Coca-Cola that you just got, at the dollar store ain't going to help you ground. It'll make you burp, but it's not going to help you ground.
So let's talk a little bit before you go about some of the teas or tinctures that would help folks with their nervous system, because I do recognize, because of the Uranian energy that we're dealing with, the electrical energy that we're dealing with, it is impacting our nervous system.
Very much so. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that. One of the things that I just recently discovered is that ashwagandha is a awesome herb for helping the body to relieve stress. And ashwagandha, it helps to relieve stress from the cellular level, not just the physical level. So what ashwagandha does is it actually nourishes your central nervous system to help calm down the nerves that are firing on like this. So when you're stressed, right, you're in that fight or flight, this is what your nerves are doing, all of them
Hmm.
at the same time. So imagine your nerves doing all like this, even when you're trying to relax, right?
Yeah.
Your nerves are just always firing. So when that happens, there's what's called a myelin sheath. So pretend this is a nerve. So my hand right here is a myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is a protein that protects the nerve from burning out. It also conducts energy between the nerves. So you got the nerve, you got the myelin sheath, you got another nerve, and it has a myelin sheath. Well, the myelin sheath conducts the electricity that goes between the nerves so that the nerves can talk to one another. This can wear away very easily if you're not nutrifying the body. So if you're not giving your body the vitamins and the minerals that comes from the foods that you eat that come from Mother Earth, this sheath can wear away very easily, exposing just the nerve. When that happens, you get a lot of neurological disease in the body, and it's called a whole bunch of different names, but that's basically what can happen. Ashwagandha is the herb that nourishes the myelin sheath that protects the nerve and allow the nerves to talk to one another. So when this is nourished, it doesn't wear away as easily, right? It does not wear away as easily at all. So it's very, very, very important that you do eat herbs and you do eat foods that nourish the central nervous system. That's the reason why it's important. Ashwagandha is awesome for helping to relieve stress. St. John's wort, while it's an awesome sleep aid, it also helps to nourish the central nervous system. And so does valerian root.
Yeah.
Valerian root is another awesome herb that helps to nourish your central nervous system. The valerian root is really good for issues going on with the brain specifically, right? So if you've ever had headaches, if you've ever had maybe you've had a head injury, valerian root is very, very important to use to help heal the nerves going on in the brain. Ashwagandha helps to heal the nerves of the spine, of the central nervous system. And then St. John's wort, it's a good herb for the nerves to help you sleep. So those are just some examples.
Yeah, chamomile too is a good one.
Yes, it is.
Chamomile.
Yep.
And I didn't know all these things. I didn't know all these things were in tinctures.
Yes.
So and so I really like that because, when you put it in the water, you're still hydrating and they're getting in because I don't like to take a lot of capsules.
Yeah, yeah. So tinctures are herbs that are liquid form and you can use externally. You can put in juice or water to take easily. Tinctures can be purchased at any health food store. Pure Herbs is an awesome company that it specializes in herbal tinctures, and they're in Sterling Heights. They're local as well, so they're an excellent company for supplying with tinctures too.
I didn't know they were in Sterling Heights.
Yep, they're local. Yep,
Okay.
they are. Yep,
Gotta go out there then.
yep.
Oh, wow. Thank you. This is what we needed. So we're armed now. We're armed now with our knowing what to do spiritually. Oh, we didn't talk about forgiveness.
Mm.
How important is that, Dr. Andrea?
Wow. Forgiveness starts with us. We can't forgive others until we first forgive ourselves. And the way that you do that is by admitting that you're not perfect. For those of us that are perfectionists and think that our stuff don't smell, you have to admit that you're human, and you have to accept and love that human part of you just as you do that spirit part of you. So when that human part of you goes out there and hurts someone or you hurt yourself, you have to you have to first say I'm sorry to yourself so that you can then have that forgiveness for other people. And the way that you do that is by facing you. And how do you face you? You get grounded. You get grounded with spirit. So that spirit allows you to have that conversation with you. That's another reason why grounding is so important. It allows you to face you in a way that you can love and still understand yourself. So that's very important. Very, very, very
Yes.
important. I don't think healing can occur if you can't forgive.
Yeah, that's huge. And in A Course in Miracles, they really press that point in a very deep, intensive way. So whenever I'm feeling anything that's unlike good, I just start forgiving. I know that, and whatever comes to mind, I'll forgive it. I'll just forgive anything that comes to mind
And
because I
that's a good
know with that
thing.
energy, the importance of us really realizing that we are energy and these thoughts are frequency and really looking at what we're holding on to and who we're holding on to. And people are energy and people are frequency. And there's some people that can make you sick
Oh
because of
yeah.
their frequency, because of their frequency.
Yes,
Can you talk about
absolutely.
that?
Oh yes, absolutely. Um, Let me get my speaking of frequency and energy, my computer is not playing, is about to die. Let me get my cord. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Uh
So while she's getting her cord, we're just going to continue on uh, to remember that be mindful of who you are attracting into your space and your life. And also, don't be afraid to tell yourself the truth about how you really, 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 really feel about situations and people. Because sometimes we just feel like we just need to be kind to people. And even when we really don't even need to have them in our world. And that might go back to that scripture that I had talked about that got me really confused. Loving the Lord God with all your mind, your heart, and your neighbor as yourself. Putting, because of that scripture, I was putting people before me. I didn't realize that it was God, then me, and then other people. And also, because I am an empath, because I do love helping people and I do love God, and I know that this is my mission, a huge part of the understanding I'm getting now is that I can help without suffering with you, because I have suffered with people. And that is a part of my cancel my that's a part of the experiences I have had of dis-ease, being uneasy, holding stuff that was not mine.
and we often
Boom.
do that, especially women, especially us women. We often do that.
Well,
Um,
it's a new
Rev, you,
day. It's a new day.
yeah. The I think a lot of us don't recognize the powerful time that we're in right now. Um, the energy that's on the planet right now is about manifestation and manifesting in a way that is so much faster than we've ever seen before.
Yes.
And when you ground, when you connect with spirit, you use that power with wisdom to affect change not only within you, but within others around you as well. So when you
Frequency. Yes. Yes.
so when you connect with those frequencies and you're in alignment with those frequencies, miracles happen. But you
Yes.
have to you can't know how to get into alignment with those frequencies until you sit with spirit, sit with yourself and get into that vibration, right? And like Rev was saying, we oftentimes we give to the point where we have nothing left for ourselves because we're not first grounded in our wisdom that tells us when to say no.
Yes.
So if you're not grounded in your spirit that gives you the power and the strength to verbalize no and what no looks like, you'll be saying yes to everything when you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And I'm a victim. I'm very guilty. Being a I like to say a reformed people pleaser, being a reformed people pleaser. I have learned what my no sounds like, right?
Yay.
And I have learned how to say no to certain people that used to think that my yes was everything for them, which means that sometimes, even in spirit and even in wisdom, you have to tell somebody off in order for them to understand that you are not on their frequency. I hope everybody remembers that scripture when Jesus went into the temple and he smashed all the stuff in the temple because he said, you all are defiling this temple. I'm not
That's
going to
right.
allow you to defile this temple. So this is what I'm
Hmm.
going to do. I'm going to make all of y'all leave because all
Uh-huh.
of y'all got to go.
Uh-huh.
right? So, Jesus, in my opinion, in that scripture, Jesus was saying, sometimes even spirit got to fight. It sometimes even spirit got to pick up that bat and go to work.
See, and
And a
I don't
lot of
want to
us
do
don't.
that, but I got to do it.
Sometimes,
I didn't want to do that, but I've had to do it. I've had to do it.
sometimes, and sometimes you get that from grounding. You'll ground, think that there's a peace and love situation that can come out of a very chaotic situation. No, sometimes that chaos is to get you to pick up that bat because the bat been swinging on you. So when you get that message, now, of course, I'm not condoning violence in any way. I hope people don't think I want y'all to go out here and start hitting people upside the head with that. I'm not saying that. So please do not get that either. What I am saying is sometimes, even in spirit, even in love and understanding, you have to be firm. You have to be very, 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 very positioned in who you are, and you have to show that you are immovable
That's
from your
right.
position. And if that means you have to tell somebody no in a very commanding way, or maybe only in a language that they understand, then maybe that's what you need to do.
Or maybe in an action with no conversation. I can
Or
show you, like my
exactly.
mama used to say, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Exactly. Sometimes silence is affirmation. Like, I'm not taking this from you, so I'm not going to give you anything. I'm just going to shut down and walk away and let you do what you do so I can do what I do.
Yeah. Stay over there with your
Absolutely.
toxicity.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, Rev, that's what you're preparing us for. I believe Rev is preparing us for the time that's coming where we're going to have to ground so that we can use our wisdom, so we can know when we have to stand or when we have to just stay,
Yes.
because we're going to be facing times and tribulations that will test our resolve, maybe in ways that
Yes.
we've never experienced before. And in order for us to pass those tests, we have to learn to ground in spirit and depend on God's wisdom within us to move through.
Oh, baby, that's it. That is it. You said it.
I
I mean,
feel it.
really depend on God, not allowing all these distractions, because sometimes the distractions come looking good. Great cologne,
Ooh,
perfume, shapely
Rev.
bodies,
Ooh,
money, uh-huh, offering you everything. But if we
ooh,
know we got everything, what can you really offer me? We can come together and enjoy what we have.
right.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother conversation. We're gonna have
Yeah.
another conversation, Dr. Andrea.
Yeah, because that's that whole relationship piece, boy, that you and I both have learned some beautiful lessons from. So, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
Yeah, yay. Well, this is delicious. Are you complete? I think I interrupted you. You were getting ready to say something.
No, I was just actually gonna just be grateful for the moment. All of this has been beautifully it has been beautifully arranged in divine order, and I am just so grateful for the moment, and grateful that I could share this with you and everybody else, because this was beautiful, and I really appreciate it humbly.
Oh, please tell them about the importance of D3
Oh geez, man,
before
look.
you go. Hmm.
um D3 is not just a vitamin. D3 is actually a chemical that talks to your hormones and tells them what to do. D3 is its its importance in the body has been downplayed over the years, and it's just scientists and the medical community are just now starting to understand the importance of D3. So while we can go outside, melanated people specifically, I will address that because it has to be addressed, and it has to be addressed plainly.
Yes.
Melanated people can go outside and get D3 because of the melanin in our skin and the high content of melanin in our skin. So we can absorb D3 through the sun. However, When there is no sun, when the sun is clouded, because we live in states like Michigan where there's more winter than there is spring and summer, we are going to need D3 as a supplement to take every day, all day, even in the summertime. And that's important because D3 does so many beneficial things. I could do a talk on D3 by itself. Okay. D3 is one of the most important vitamins for your central nervous system. It's an important vitamin for your hormones. It's important for your skin. It's important for your body in general. And D3 has been proven to help with so many diseases and disorders in the body that sometimes when people take just D3, it fixes whatever's going on with them. Right. So if
Yes.
you don't take anything else, if you don't supplement with anything else, I don't care if you are vegan, pescatarian, vegetarian, I do not care. Whatever style of food that you decide to eat, it doesn't matter because with all of it, you have to have D3. That's just, even if you're a melanated person, you got to have D3.
Yeah. Thank you. I didn't know that. I mean, and I'm on like 50,000
Yes.
because of what I'm dealing with, 50,000 a day. And it's really
Yes.
helping me. It's really helping me.
D3 is
So,
so important, and it's not enough just to take, the couple of thousand, that they prescribe in a day. It really is in a 50,000 and up, particularly if you're going through a health crisis. It's so important to take vitamin D. And it's not toxic. It's not that you can take too much and it becomes toxic to the body. You'd have to take like a street load of vitamin D for it to be toxic to the body. So the units that we're talking about, it may sound like a lot, but
but it's not.
it's not. It's actually not. So yes, if you all don't do anything else, if you don't supplement with anything else, get you some D3 for sure.
All right. We done ground it down. We done told them, and we're doing it too.
Yes.
I
Yes.
bless you. I love you. I respect you. I appreciate you. And I'm glad you're in my life, and I'm glad you're here today with us.
Well,
And
the feeling
so
is
your
mutual.
information's there. Their information, and we'll put it on our website too. We'll put it there so that if people want to contact you.
I
But
appreciate
here it
that. Thank you.
is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Trinity Divine Healing, Dr. Ondria Rodgers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Much love to everybody. Thank you for this moment.
Thank
Appreciate you.
you. Namaste.
Mama.
Wow, that was delicious. Yay. So we're going to ground out. Jay is going to start the slides that we have prepared. We know that in this season, we are grounding, and in this grounding spiritually, we have an anchor. This is one of my when the dark night of the soul. This is one of my dark night of the soul scriptures. This scripture has helped me for years. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Sit with this, family. And when you go through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be scorched. The flames will not set you ablaze. Isaiah 43:2. That is one of my favorite grounding scriptures. God is our anchor. That's what we're here really saying. Anchor yourself because the storm is coming. When there's a forecasted storm, people prepare with the food supplies and also getting secure in every opening in the house. And this body is our house. We want our bodies secure so that when the storms rage, we'll be okay. We'll already have everything that we need to weather the storm. God is our anchor. God is our refuge. And I am divine. My body, mind, and soul. I am divine. God takes us into deep waters, not to drown us, but to cleanse us. Sometimes God allows us to go through because God is trying to do loving correction. God sometimes allows us to go through so that we can wake up and we give thanks. That's why I give thanks for whatever's going on, because I know it's happening for me and not to me. Keep remembering, even if you're in deep water today, I'm not going to drown. You could be like I have been. There were times where I didn't know where my next dime was going to come from and didn't even have a job. But what I had was source. And I was walking the floor affirming that God is my unfailing source. God is my supply and my supplier. I'd walk the floor doing the 23rd Psalms 15 times, doing the Lord's Prayer 15 times. What was I doing? Connecting with the quantum, connecting with the unified field, opening up my heart, my cells, and everything to receive a miracle. And what I want to say is that God came through every time. Do not be afraid. Fear not, but begin to work with what you know. And if you don't know anything, stick around with TLC and you'll know a few things. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall any flame scorch you. Most High God, thank you. We give thanks for this time together. We give thanks that you are on the playing field. We give thanks that whatsoever we might need, that even before we call, you've already answered. We give thanks and we proclaim we are grounded in you. We are still as God created us. I am still as God created me. I am whole. I am complete. I am enough. I live in God. God lives in me. And I'm giving thanks for this day. We give thanks that whatever you have planned for us, it is unfolding, and we're not getting in the way today. We're relaxing in you, we're resting in you, we're sitting in contemplation, and it's a full moon. We're catching the visions, we're writing them down, and we're getting ready. We're getting ready for winter solstice. Winter solstice is coming this weekend. The longest night is coming, the shortest day, and it's coming to show us that we are the light. And when we're in the darkness, deep things happen in the darkness. So we're giving thanks. We're giving thanks for our lives today as is. And we thank you, God, for how you sustain and maintain transforming love community. This is your divine idea. We give thanks for all who support it. We know that whatever they give into this ministry, that they are planting into fertile soil. So we know whatever they give, they're giving unto themselves and it comes back multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So we give thanks right now for everyone who is participating and giving. And if you could take your gift, or just in your thought, if you're planning to, or if you have given, you could accept this blessing that divine love in and through me and you, we bless and multiply all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Go your way rejoicing and make it a beautiful day. God bless.